Hi everyone, my name is Kim. This evening I was thinking about, some more ideas for each type, and I was thinking that could make this kind of a series with each type, and I would mention their fears. What they fear, because each type has a they fear things differently than other types. We all have fears. And so I'm going to start with the INTJ. So INTJs, they are independent. They know how to look after themselves. They're independent. They have no problem coming up with ideas for a project or something at work. And they have no problem implementing their ideas. So they're very intelligent individuals, and they're private individuals, and they like to kind of do their own thing, without being bothered. They have projects or things they're working on. And so that's kind of their, part of their, maybe a hobby, or maybe it's for work. And they need the peace and quiet to work on it, to, kind of build upon it and everything. They have no problems getting their ideas out in the real world because they have TE second. Introverted intuition, they have that as their dominant function, and it comes up with ideas. It has it causes the INTJs to have these insights that kind of pop up. They pop up, when they least expect it. They could be doing something, and then all of a sudden it's like that light bulb moment, turned on, and they have this, okay, now I understand, the big picture of it. So INTJs, they are straightforward. When they talk, it's they're straightforward, and if they're talking with someone, maybe someone that kind of rambles on and rambles and rambles, and they're just thinking in their mind, okay, get to the point, because they're that way. They're direct. They don't ramble on too much about, say, an idea they're talking about. They'd like the person to get to the point. What's the overview of it? That sort of thing. INTJs, they have a small group of friends. Because interactions in general really drain them, so they don't go to parties, and they don't go to any place with tons of people and the spotlight, with a lot of sensory things that are happening. It will drain them. They'll just want to go home early because it's too much for them. It's an overload of sensory things. And so they are careful, when choosing a friend or someone to hang out with. They can be selective. It's a small group too. That's manageable for them. And their friends generally share the same values. They respect their boundaries because INTJs need their quiet time to recharge their batteries and just kind of decompress. So they need that alone time to process, what they did that night, reflect on it and process, and so they do need their private alone time. And if their friends respect that, that's how an INTJ knows that these people that an INTJ associates with, they know that they're with people that have their best interests at heart, a good friendship circle they have. All right, so INTJs, their fear is, when something or someone interferes with their independence. They are, out of all the types, the most independent person, independent personality type, and they value their independent way of things in their life, at their work, things like that. So if someone or maybe a situation, maybe that is created by someone, if it interferes with their independence, their need to be independent, that could really, that kind of is a sore spot for INTJs, because they're private, but independence is very important. If someone interferes with that, say in their maybe someone they just met, maybe an acquaintance or something, and the acquaintance kind of crosses that boundary, with the INTJ needing their independence, maybe to work on their projects or to do something, if that happens, the INTJ will be straightforward with that person, and they will tell them that, my independence is very important to me, and you kind of cross that boundary. So this is very important to me. It's, the INTJ would say that it's important to them. It's one of their values. And this acquaintance, kind of crossed the line. This person fully knows that, an INTJ needs, it doesn't need anything to interrupt their independence or put a blockade or sort of put a block or something, so that it affects them being independent and gaining independence that they need. And so that's that, and it's a boundary that INTJs set. They don't want anyone interfering with their independence. And for someone that knows that, but goes over that line, and even they may be an acquaintance or a friend, but not a close friend, but a friend, and they know, that there's a boundary there, for a reason, and this person has crossed the boundary, and so the INTJ has to just tell the person, you knew that my independence is important to me, and you've crossed the line, so we can't interact anymore. And INTJs, they don't sugarcoat things, especially if they're telling someone they've crossed the line or crossed their boundaries. So INTJs, they fear they're losing their independence. It's so important to them, and they've always been that way. Even when they were a child, they wanted their independence, and they were mature enough to not abuse that. When they were little, their parents would see how responsible they are, and when they prove to their parents that they are responsible and can be independent, because and so their parents allow them that independence because they know that the INTJ is going to be responsible with their independence, and that it's not going to be abused or something, but it's going to be taken seriously. So that is, what INTJs fear, is losing their independence. All right, I am over my time here, and so I will. This is a series, so I will do each type and talk about their fears. And the next video, I will mention another type and mention what their fears are. All right, I hope you guys have a good evening, and I'm going to say goodbye.